hope it's working. We don't know.
Is it working?
Well, X apparently is working.
All right, okay.
We'll just can we just 2 seconds?
Okay, okay.
Speak to yourself.
I'll
Well,
speak
they're
to
all
myself.
fine.
Yeah.
Is she?
You should back to
Yes,
it. Yep.
lovely. Thank you.
Okay.
Go for your
Okay,
life.
hello, hi, I'm Paula. And since Kellie-Jay mentioned that the Party of Women wants to look into the people who helped to cover up the grooming gang scandal, I thought I'd just tell you what happened when the grooming gangs in Oxford were first exposed, because I was living in Oxford at the time. And when I heard about it, my daughter was about the same age as the victims. And like any person who's not brain dead, I was absolutely horrified. So I thought these girls are going to need a huge amount of support. It must be somebody who's doing something to support them, collecting money. Is there a charity? How can I contribute to support them? Contacted my local councillors, didn't know, didn't care. Contacted my local MP, didn't know, didn't care. And then there was something in the papers about it, because there was a group coming down from the north of England to protest against the grooming gangs, and therefore the lovely Unite Against Fascism was going to do a counter-protest, because they said that this group don't care about the girls, they're just racist. So I thought, if they think that this group coming down don't care about the girls, then surely, by implication, they do care about the girls. So therefore, I'll go along and see them and ask them what they're doing to support the girls. So my sister was staying with me, so off we went. And then we met what's now become a very familiar group of people. They had placards that you will all recognise, mass-produced by the Socialist Workers' Party. They had masks over their faces. They were young and educated, a mixture of students from a university and stupid middle-class twats who were getting together to protest this group of people. I thought they knew nothing about the girls, they didn't care anything about it. So because I'd looked it up, I knew that a group from the north of England was assembling at the railway station. So we wandered off to the railway station to see what they were like, and a completely different set of people. Didn't seem to me to be a threat at all. Everybody in Oxford city centre was saying, oh, the English Defence League are coming, we have to be careful, we have to be careful. We went over and we saw a group of people who looked very similar to the people gathered here now. We went and chatted to this nice group of ladies, the sort of people you might see running a cake stall, and it became immediately obvious that these people were the sisters, mothers, cousins of the victims of the gangs, who were distraught, desperate people who wanted to have their voices heard. But what happened was they weren't allowed to go to the city centre. They were completely surrounded by police. I think fewer people than are here now, totally surrounded by police who marched them around the outskirts of the city centre, completely surrounding them. My sister and I followed. They stood outside St Aldate's police station, where Inspector Morse used to work. He wasn't in, unfortunately. And but were police vans waiting, with police dogs in the vans who started barking. I understand they're trained to bark on order. They also had loudspeakers which then switched on, playing blaring pop music. There were a handful of people. The bloke who runs the Tesco Metro came up to my sister and me and said, I'm going to lock the doors now, do you want to come inside to be safe? So we said to him, well, if these people are racist, why would they attack two middle-aged white ladies? We'll take our chances. And what happened was the Oxford police ensured that nobody in Oxford could hear anything that these people were saying. There was me and my sister and maybe 8 or 10 other people who happened to be there. We couldn't actually hear. So then they then let the Unite Against Fascism run down the street. They were running down the street shouting Nazi, Nazi, all scarfed up. Nobody in this other group had scarves on at all. And I must say, I'm not defending the English Defence League. I'm talking about the people who went there. So we went home and had to listen to it on YouTube, because it was recorded. And one of the things they'd been talking about was the reason why they stood outside St Aldate's police station was to talk about, I might get the details slightly wrong, a 12-year-old girl who had gone to that very police station at 2 in the morning, bleeding from the groin from where she'd been raped and told to go away. So and also by escorting the police away from a station, it made everybody in Oxford in fear of these people. So nobody in Oxford was doing a flying fuck to help these girls. And at Oxford, you might have heard of the place. It's got a university there. It's full of people who write books, they do research. They'll go to the top of an active volcano to collect lava. They'll go to the bottom of the Mariana Trench to collect octopus poo. But they won't walk 200 metres across Oxford City town centre on a Saturday afternoon to talk to the relatives and neighbours and cousins and victims of girls who've been raped, tortured, had their tongues nailed to the table. They're not interested. That happened in Oxford. So, sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry to end on that rather horrible note, but that's why I saw with my own eyes. I saw with my own eyes how there was no concern for the girls whatsoever. The end. Sorry, I just made me so angry.
I don't blame you. I mean, this was a source of my first cancelling by Women's Place UK, who have people in their number who kind of glorified terrorists. So anyway, but they, yes, apparently I was terrible for talking about grooming gangs because it is just racist. It's amazing how much, it's all right, it's amazing how persuasive the accusation of racism is. Because I think it's also very difficult to defend yourself. And it doesn't really matter what it is, what you're concerned about. If somebody can minimise the concern and the focus of whatever it is and divert the attention to your views on race, which are never actually really what your views are on race. It's never anything to do with it. But it is very powerful. So my advice to anybody is just to ignore it, because you can't defend it. Because, I mean, what can you say? Anything that you say sounds racist, to be fair. So you can't say anything. Anyone else want to speak? Because I think we'll pack up and go. Yes? You're going to speak? Okay. Right, come and stand here for me. Thank you so much. What a lovely T-shirt.
Got a lot of them. Yeah, I was just going to say, vis-a-vis the rape, torture, murder, etc. gangs, they're actually families, maybe a bit like mafia families, and they have the same kind of recruitment and loyalty and I think punishments for disloyalty as mafia families do. But I was watching a couple of YouTubers last night called Jeff Taylor and his colleague Richard, and they were saying this has been going on for so long and it's been so systematically covered up that it's such a huge can of worms. They're terrified to open it because it'll probably lead to other cans of worms even worse. I mean, it's been systematic among orders to the police. The police only obey orders. Where do these orders come from? Councils, social services, politicians, the press, everybody. And this has been going on for decades. It's systematic and organised, and it's a war, really, against British women and girls.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh,
That's all right.
sorry.
I mean, ultimately, I guess having a go at women and like the freedom of a teenage girl in this country is indicative of the freedom of all of us and the freedom of our society. And I guess that's the place that they most want to attack, because nothing says kind of liberty more than little girls going to like a Ariana Grande concert, which is somewhere that they targeted. And then there were other targets like Taylor Swift, those little girls that went to the Taylor Swift little dance studio and never made it home. And I think at the same time there was a Taylor Swift concert that was attacked, because they just can't bear women having the audacity, especially young women, of liberty. So that's why these men who come from cultures and countries where women don't have any liberty, that's why they come and target our little girls. Bernadette, she's not as angry. Well, she might be. She's very good, very good. We love it. We love a rant. Rant. I can never. Trans. Gapja.
Trans right.
I just wanted to speak today because quite a few people I think watched me get quite annoyed, and just to kind of put it into a bit of context, we were as Kellie-Jay said, in a really lovely part of London. There were some really, really nice people there. And actually, I'd been talking to two young people. They'd come up to me and we'd started talking together, and they were the ones who then joined joined the kind of monotonous chanting. And I just kind of got quite angry while I was listening, because we had a conversation, and there was the problem that we've got now with the Supreme Court ruling is that we've been arguing for a very long time about why that ruling was actually the law. That was the law, that was what it should be. But these people are just now realizing it, so they're having to kind of make their arguments as to why there needs to be provision for these people who want to kind of perform as their ideal of the opposite sex. And so I had a conversation with these two young people who were very adamant in their views because they've been learning about it. And there was two things that kind of stuck with me. The first was that we were obviously Nazis, because one of the first things the Nazis did was to stop sex change operations. I found it, I had no frame of reference to that argument, and I just wasn't sure what to say. So I have actually looked it up, and there was in Berlin a sex university place where they'd collected an awful lot of information and done an awful lot of research. And as soon as Hitler came in, he was very, very anti-gay. He was very, very anti-contraception. And so he basically, I think it was the youth wing, kind of went to this place, and that's when they took all the books. And I think there's some quite iconic pictures of big piles of books being burnt. And so that's what it was in reference to. But to then say, well, because we want to stop children taking puberty blockers and vulnerable people having irreversible kind of procedures, that makes us similar to Nazis. It's incredible, but that was the argument that there was. And then the second one was that I'm going to say it, trans women are women because, you know, and he's standing there, there's two white young people talking to me, a white woman, obviously, of a certain age, and then he's saying most earnestly that, well, you know, if trans women are women, you know, well, black women are women, so trans women are women. Well, I have to say, this amazing, black, beautiful couple came out of nowhere. She wasn't having it. She was fierce. They were eloquent. They were amazing. They were nothing to do with us. They'd just been walking through. And I think she heard this. She was like, I'm not having that. And she came over, and I want to thank that couple. I don't know who they are, but they were immensely eloquent, and they just kind of put them in their place. And they kind of didn't really know what to say, because obviously they weren't talking to me about how racist I must be if I don't allow a man to come into women's spaces because I allow black women to come into my female spaces. It's so, but this is the argument that some of these people are now having. So please just be aware of that. And I would recommend you watch Women's Declaration International YouTube channel, Susan Forbes Veiling. And this is on the 21st of August 2021. She did an amazing video on how gender identity has appropriated intersectionality. And she does talk about this whole concept of the argument that trans women are equivalent to black women, which is just so beyond racist, and you just don't even know where to start with the argument. And the trouble is, when somebody says that to you, you're just like, what? And so you lose all your words, as I did during my rant. But just please be aware, these are some of the arguments people are going to say to you, and we need to come back and say, please. Well, we can say fuck off, but then they just go away and say, oh, they're Nazis, they're bigots. They wouldn't talk about it. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. Yeah.
I'll tell you what it feels like with these, when they say, oh, that Nazis wanted to stop sex change. It's so childish, isn't it? it's like, oh, it reminds me of like Rick Mail kind of rationale in the young ones. It's like, oh, well, that was green. Oh my God, and that's green. So they must both be grass. It's nuts. I mean, I would be hard pressed to be reasonable. But then I kind of think that for a lot of these kids, unfortunately, it's going to take a very bad experience for them to realise that these men are men and they're the same as any other men. And I keep seeing these questions where people think it's a gotcha and they're like, oh, so a lesbian got beaten up by a couple of heterosexual men because women don't want men in women's toilets. And you're like, oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Or it could be that men are men are men are men are men are men. Jesus. Anyway, it doesn't make any sense. So Bernadette is obviously a very lovely woman. I would have found it very difficult not to go, oh, fuck off, to that. And I would say to you that sometimes that will be the answer. That will be the only way to deal with these people. Right, we are now, I will finish off here, and then we will now, it's a wonderful thing, we will now walk down there. I'll talk to you in a minute, Mary, because I think don't we leave one running? Yeah. We'll leave the YouTube one running. And maybe we'll switch off Twitter and restart Twitter just down there. Yeah? And I'll put a little charger on it, actually. So, if you can keep speaking the truth, even when you might get cancelled, or people might think that you're a bigot, I promise we will win. If you can just find a way of accessing some sort of council meeting or school meeting, or really get behind something that genuinely makes a difference, then I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Well, because I never lose. Right, so let me get a battery pack. Did you just do a whistle? Oh, it's so embarrassing. What if we can do? Could do. Or maybe we'll turn this.
I worked out who that journalist was and it turns out she's sued the BBC for equal pay as well. So she's obviously a trouble. Who was that?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm an idiot. I've just gone. No. Sorry. Okay. That's fine. Oh, are you just going to the pub?
You don't have to. You can come up.
No, go to the pub.
Sure, I was going to make sure you got a table.
I told you that I think campervan camping. I told you. We'll just see which table. Oh, great. So we'd be useful. So Mary will take the signature. Good job. Start.
Okay. Yeah. So that one's. They're both. Yeah.
So I'll take that one, yeah, and follow you along. So this one's YouTube. So are we going to fold that one up and just put it in there for now, or should we get someone to carry it?
I'll carry it. And we switched it off for a second, have we? You haven't?
No, I'm gonna let's go up. I'm gonna go up there. But if you want to go,
Might have died.
Well, it was low on battery, wasn't it? Well, it's better it dies now.
okay, all right.
I thought I put the fucking charger in though. Okay, so let's just abandon that. Maybe I'll hold it in my hand.
There's a Monty Python sketch of it.
Actually, if you're going to the... Oh. Let me... what's the time?
About 1:30.
Could you call... You call... Tell him to meet you at the phone. Because then that could... There's bags that everything can be collapsed into. And then he can...
So he can be up there
Yeah.
and pick up the camera then. Okay.
Yeah. Well, what you can do, if I take my bag, everything can be put into bags, and that folds up really easily. It's got a handle in the middle. Does that make? You all right?
Yep.
What was he going to do going up there?
Yeah. 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 If I do that, can you tell me if the? I think this is. Or is this one? This one. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna switch that off.
That just annoys me because it's going to get ruined. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for telling me. Yep, thanks for telling me. Oh, hang on, you want some for Stacey?
Oh, I want some for me, my mum, my sister, Stacey.
They come in.
Thank you.
Yeah. 'Cause- Savage.
I want it in my glasses on. It's like that brown.
You can get a brown. You can get.
I know, but I want the
It's
woman one
gold.
as well. Yeah, I know. It looks great.
Oh, and now you've got that top on even more. You're welcome.
Although there is a serious
No,
one,
don't
which
me
just wears all
because I
green.
said she's bought especially for me. No,
It'd be way too big for you.
I said, yeah, I said,
Yeah.
it's a giant, it's a
Thanks,
10.
Iris.
It's more like Laura's size.
She said, "Oh, I'll be swimming in it."
Weight. So if you carry on, it will be looser. If
Do you mind? Do you mind? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Did you ring him?
I'm going to do that now.
Thanks.
I'm taking this.
Put your bag in there, love. Put your bag in.
I'll probably end up with it. Right, okay.
Oh, that is working. Right, let's go.
The mic's on Kelly, so. Well, that'll teach you the first spontaneous things to stop.
How odd. My phone is like on. It's on.
What, the Twitter one?
Yeah, it's on, but I can't see.
You did capture me calling you know who a potato again because apparently she didn't hear it yesterday. I'm really disappointed.
Oh, yeah. Say it again. Oh, I'm a little bit disappointed. Oh well. Can I just say I'm live? Oh well, if he gets caught talking, it's tough, isn't it?
They don't care. They're all busy chatting away. They don't care.
Oh, what a lovely day. So, if you're still watching, next month, the last Sunday of June, we'll be near the police station having the summer picnic in Hyde Park. And then after, the old police station is, and then after that, there'll be a secret venue for you to pick up some absolute bargain merch to help us continue. Otherwise, you can forget it. There won't be any events. Well, there will be. There'll just be crap ones not run by us.
Pound shop.